Now at noon, a stabbing and kidnapping suspect in Grand Rapids found competent to stand trial. We'll detail his court day.
Your Calder Cup champions are holding a victory parade today. What's in store when the Grand Rapids Griffins hit the street this afternoon?
And a day of caring in West Michigan. We take you live to one nonprofit and shine a light on what they're doing for those in need. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Susan Shaw.
I'm Emily Leonard. 24-hour News 8 at noon starts now.
Of rain throughout our afternoon as well.
We're looking at the chance of some spotty rain as we start our weekend. So let's start our noon broadcast with meteorologist Ellen Baca. How about it, Ellen?
Well, guys, it's looking like it's going to be a mostly dry day today, but we can't completely rule out that chance of scattered showers as we go through the next couple of days. So we want to kick it off with Storm Track Live here. You can see a small batch of showers that is just moving slowly across the southern region of Lake Michigan. And we're going to be watching that, but for the most part, it's looking like that is going to be falling apart. Temperatures very close to 80, if not 80 degrees at some locations. Battle Creek making it to 80 along with Grand Rapids and Ionia, still 70s along the lakeshore. And through the day today, like we've been seeing the last couple of days, we're going to be watching those 70s topping out near the lakeshore. So here's Storm Track Live, a little bit closer in so that you can see that batch of scattered showers. These should be impacting places like Benton Harbor and South Haven, but at most just a few light sprinkles. The rest of us seeing a nice mix of sun and clouds, and that's what's in store later on today for that big parade. 85 degrees, so GR Griffin should have a nice dry afternoon for that to kick off for. Here's a look at that weekend forecast. Notice we have a chance of showers as we go through tonight. Then most of Saturday should be on and off dry, but another big batch of showers and storms should move in late Saturday into Sunday. And that's that batch of storms that we've been talking about for the last several days that has the potential of being strong to maybe even severe. So coming up in your full forecast, we're going to be showing you who has the best chance of seeing a strong to severe storm. We'll also be showing you that line itself as it unfolds on your Futurecast.
Okay, Ellen, thank you. Well, the man who's accused of holding a woman hostage and stabbing her before police shot him has been found competent to stand trial.
Victor Gonzalez appeared before a judge in downtown Grand Rapids today. Police say he tried to steal a woman's car in the Meyer parking lot in Walker this March and then stabbed her when she wouldn't let him. Police shot him 2 days later when they caught him on the west side of Grand Rapids. An investigation ruled the officers were justified in shooting him. America's favorite game took on new meaning in the nation's capital last night. Thousands showed up for the annual Congressional Charity Baseball game after a gunman opened fire on Republican teams' practice on Wednesday. One of the people who was shot is Matt Micah, a lobbyist from Michigan. Micah used to be an aide for Michigan Republican Representative Tim Walberg. He's now the director of government relations for Tyson Foods. He's been upgraded from critical to serious condition at a local hospital. NBC News' Blaine Alexander has more on the powerful imagery from last night's game.
America's favorite pastime for many became America's healing.
You can see it on the field, like everyone's really supportive of each other.
Throwing out the first pitch, Officer David Bailey, one of the 2 Capitol police officers who returned fire at Wednesday's practice. And a video message from President Trump.
By playing tonight, you are showing the world that we will not be intimidated by threats.
Before the cheers, a moment of silence at second base, the position that would have been played by Congressman Steve Scalise, and where he was standing Wednesday during practice when a bullet ripped through his hip. He remains in critical condition.
This is America. And as I've told people before, America doesn't give in, America doesn't give out. And when we get punched, we punch back.
The colors of the night, purple and gold, a nod to the wounded congressman's beloved alma mater, LSU.
I think it's maybe a distraction that a lot of people on Capitol Hill need right now.
The final score, 11-2, a win for Democrats, who then gave the trophy to Republicans to go in Congressman Scalise's office. And of course, the goal of last night's game was to raise money for charity, and it certainly did that in a big way. By way of comparison, last year's game brought in about $500,000 for charity. This year topped $1 million. I'm Blaine Alexander in Washington. Now back to you.
It's a day of celebration today for fans of the Grand Rapids Griffins. In honor of winning the Calder Cup, the team is holding a parade through downtown Grand Rapids this afternoon. The parade starts at 4 o'clock on Ottawa Street next to the Van Andel Arena. Griffins players and coaches will be there riding in the back of black, red, and silver pickup trucks, joined, of course, by a Zamboni and other team vehicles. Our News 8 team will be part of the parade. We will be carrying the celebration live for you on WXSP and at woodtv.com beginning at 4 o'clock.
Dozens of Wood TV 8 employees are pitching in today for Founders 2017 Day of Caring. The event is designed to shine a spotlight on nonprofits throughout West Michigan. 24-hour News 8's Eva Agede-Cooper gives us a look at one charity that's making a difference. Eva?
We are here in Grand Rapids. We're part of our Day of Caring as we wanted to focus on food insecurity. We're at the Other Way Ministries, which is part of Access of West Michigan. And here to tell me a little bit about that, Emma. A lot of activity here, but first tell me quickly what Other Way Ministries does as part of Access.
Sure, so the Other Way Ministries is one of our 5 pantry partners that is doing our Farm to Pantry program this year. So these volunteers are building boxes that will go to all 5 of our partner sites to their healthy food retail markets.
Okay, and I know this doesn't happen without volunteers and help in the community, so tell me how people can help.
People can get involved through donating local produce, working with some of our farm partners, or volunteering in this way. We need volunteers to help run our market and be a part of this project all year long. Also, I want to thank Standale Lumber, who donated the lumber for this project, and our funding partners, Heart of West Michigan United Way, the Kent County Health Department, and the Michigan Health and Wellness 4x4 plan.
So this doesn't happen alone. Our employees are here. Obviously, we're building these stands. I know we were in other parts of the community as well. And it forms a lot of camaraderie. We get a lot of things done, and we're helping the pantries in our own community. Thank you so much. And if you're interested, if you got a group that you think wants to help donate, or if you need help and want to find out where you can get help with at pantries near you, we have all this information. You can find it at woodtv.com. And there you'll have a list of different things you can do. But we're having fun. We're building stuff here. Back to you.
All right, Eva Agede-Cooper reporting live in Grand Rapids will be joining you later today with more help, Eva. See ya.
After more than 40 hours of deliberations and 6 questions about testimony and evidence, jurors in the Bill Cosby sexual assault trial told the judge they're still deadlocked. But the judge told them to come to a conclusion. So deliberations continue today, possibly going longer than the trial itself. Chris Pallone reports now from the courthouse in Norristown, Pennsylvania.
A full 24 hours after telling the judge that they could not come to a unanimous decision on any of the counts facing Bill Cosby, the Bill Cosby jury is back at deliberations today. They've already been back in court to ask 2 questions. The first question was they wanted the judge to define reasonable doubt for them. They also wanted to hear some more testimony that Bill Cosby gave in a deposition from 2005. Now, after telling the judge that they couldn't reach a decision yesterday, the judge told them to go back and try again, so it is clear that they are indeed trying again. The judge asked Bill Cosby if he knew that his lawyer has made 5 motions for a mistrial, and if he understood that if he declared a mistrial that Cosby could be tried again. Cosby told the judge yes. Nevertheless, the judge did not grant the mistrial, and he said he is going to let this jury deliberate for as long as they want. It has now been more than 40 hours. This is the 5th day of deliberations, and the jury is back trying to decide, come to any sort of agreement on any one or all of the 3 charges Cosby faces for a 2004 incident between him and a former colleague who worked at Temple University, Andrea Constant. In Norristown, Pennsylvania, I'm Chris Pallone, NBC News.
It is day 2 of the LPGA Classic. We'll tell you what to watch for and who's at the top of the leaderboard if you're headed to the course this weekend.
And at 12:15, Russia's claiming they've killed an ISIS leader. We have the response from the United States today.
And it's Friday. The weather could not get much better. We're seeing some bits of blue sky. We're going to continue to see a mostly dry day today. But we do have some showers and storms in the forecast. So coming up in your full forecast, we'll show you just when.
This is 24-Hour News 8 at noon with Susan Shaw, Emily Leonard, and meteorologist Matt Kirkwood.
Oh, the top women golfers in the world have teed off today for the second round of the Meyer LPGA Classic. They're playing to win $2 million, and huge crowds of people go every year in Kent County to cheer them on.
19-year-old Brooke Henderson leads the talented group after round one yesterday. The Canadian shot an 8 under 63 in her lowest round of the season. You can still buy tickets to watch the pros and enjoy great food and beverages throughout the day. We have a link to those on our website, woodtv.com.
1,000 children who live in the Steepletown area of Grand Rapids will soon have a new place to play. Crews are working right now at 629 5th Street on the northwest side of Grand Rapids. It's near Muskegon Avenue across from the St. Adelbert Basilica. Amway and Steepletown Neighborhood Services worked with a nonprofit called Kaboom to get the playground here. This is what it will look like when the volunteers are all done. Kaboom works to build playgrounds for children growing up in poverty so they can still get a day balanced with active play. More than 1,000 children live in the area where they're working right now. The volunteers started working at about 8:30 this morning, and they expect to be wrapped up by about 2:30 this afternoon.
Online retailer Amazon is extending into the food industry. The company's buying Whole Foods in a deal worth reportedly more than $13 billion. Amazon will pay $42 per share for the company, including any debt. Whole Foods was founded back in 1978 as an organic, healthy grocery alternative. It will keep operating stores under the same name. The deal is expected to close sometime later this year. Coming up next, changes likely coming in diplomatic relations between the United States and Cuba.
Next at noon, why President Trump is deciding to halt funding to Cuba and details on the announcement he's expected to make later today.
And a search that crossed state lines for 2 escaped convicts is now over. How the feds were finally able to track these guys down days after they broke free.
Make sure and stay right there. 24-hour News 8 at noon, coming to you live from the Media Arts Center on a Friday. We will be back right after this short break. Stay with us.
Always tracking, always alerting. This is Storm Team 8.
Hey, good afternoon. We could not ask for better weather for a Friday. The temperatures are very comfortable. We have that sun that's shining across much of West Michigan, and most of the day should stay dry. Now, we're not going to be completely rain-free as we work through the weekend, and it's not going to be all sunshine all the time. A great example right now is Lake Macatawa. You can see that cloud cover moving on in, and through the day today, we're going to continue to see a mix of sun and clouds. So at some portions of time, you might see a little bit more of that sunshine, and then at times it might cloud over just a bit. But overall, it's going to be a really beautiful day. And again, you can see how all of these showers are kind of falling apart quickly as they move over Lake Michigan towards us. Just a few holding together near Chicago. And as we go through the next hour or so, we do have a shower chance for South Haven, Benton Harbor, Paw Paw, and the like. The next big batch of showers and storms isn't until overnight tonight. In fact, it's a system still upstream that we're going to be watching, and it's going to be falling in the overnight time frame. So again, much of today is going to be dry for almost everyone. If you have outdoor plans, you want to get a kick start on your weekend, it's looking like you should be able to do so without any problems. 86 for your forecast high today. Tonight, we've got that chance of a shower, 68. Now, some of those showers could linger into very early tomorrow morning, but a good chunk of Saturday should be dry too. The biggest time frame that we're watching is Saturday night into Sunday. That's when it looks like we're going to have the best forcing mechanism to trigger some scattered showers and storms, especially to the southwest of us. But if we look at your storm outlook from this Storm Prediction Center, it's looking like we've got that chance of severe weather potentially as we get into Saturday evening. So what this yellow means is that severe weather is going to be possible for West Michigan, especially from Kent County southward. So if you live in Fremont or Big Rapids, it's not going to be quite as possible. It's mainly those southern locations. So again, time frame for that is looking like later in the day. I would say closer to about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the evening, and we will be staffed watching that closely as that unfolds. Here's a check of your forecast. If you're headed out to Lake Michigan today, the water is really warm. Average lake temperature right now is right around 60 degrees, and some of our buoys are even coming in closer to 70. Saugatuck, the water temperature right now, 68 degrees. So if you're headed out to the lake shore tonight to watch the sunset, it shouldn't be as cold as the last several weeks. And again, just watch for that stray shower, especially south today and tonight. So here's your futurecast around 8 o'clock, and you can see that slight chance of a stray shower, otherwise mostly dry. Here's that batch of showers that we're watching to move in overnight tonight, and some of them may linger into early Saturday morning. So this is 6 a.m. and you can see a few scattered showers. So if you wake up and you see the rain, don't be discouraged. It does look like we should have some nice dry breaks for much of West Michigan, and then it's late that we start to see that batch of stronger storms. You can see it moving on through. Again, it's looking like the early time frame for that is going to be closer to around 7 o'clock. After that passes, we drop into the 70s for several days, so it's going to feel even more comfortable beginning Sunday, and then that weather continues on for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Overall, a beautiful week. I know there are a lot of plans this weekend, with it being Father's Day and all, so you should have some nice dry spans to go out and go fishing or golfing, or if you're my dad, go out to eat to his favorite restaurant.
Awesome.
He's a foodie. That's all he wants to do on his special day.
I identify with your dad.
Yes,
I get it.
I know it.
I get it.
Get the patio seat, go outside and eat. Yeah.
Perfect. Ellen, thank you. Developing news from the Middle East today. Russia says it believes one of its airstrikes may have killed the leader of ISIS, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. The country's defense ministry said today they targeted a meeting of senior ISIS figures, and that was in late May in Syria. It said at about 30 field commanders and 300 militants were killed by fighter jets included in that meeting, and it may have been Baghdadi. As of right now, the U.S.-led anti-Islamic State group coalition says it cannot confirm that he was killed in the attack.
The White House is scaling up the war in Afghanistan. The Trump administration says the Pentagon will add nearly 4,000 extra U.S. troops to the longest-running war in U.S. history. White House representatives say this is a push to end the war that has now been going on for 3 administrations. Defense Secretary James Mattis will officially make the announcement as early as next week.
We expect another big announcement this afternoon from President Trump. His representatives say that he will change policies for Cuba and stop sending money to the government. It won't completely roll back President Obama's action, but President Trump says that he wishes the U.S. had negotiated a better deal. He wants to maintain diplomatic relations and allow U.S. airlines and cruise ships to continue service to the island. The president will make a speech on those changes later today in Miami.
2 escaped prisoners from Georgia are back behind bars. Their capture coming after nearly 60 hours of intense searching by authorities in several states. Reed Binion reports.
The burden of danger is off.
A days-long multi-state manhunt is over after police in Tennessee arrested a pair of escaped inmates accused of killing 2 corrections officers.
I know after speaking with Director Keenan here just a few minutes ago that they're breathing a sigh of relief down there in Georgia.
Donnie Russell Rowe and Ricky DuBose were captured Thursday after 2 residents in Tennessee found them trying to steal a car after crashing in a high-speed chase.
That neighbor also brought his firearm, and together they secured these 2 suspects.
While on the run, officials say Rowe and DuBose stole multiple vehicles and robbed 2 homes. The alleged crime spree following their escape Tuesday from a prison bus in Georgia, where authorities say at least 1 inmate shot and killed corrections officers Christopher Monica and Curtis Ballou. After apparently driving a stolen truck from Georgia to Tennessee, authorities say the inmates stole more vehicles, tying up and robbing an elderly couple in the process.
The couple had the wherewithal to break free and notify authorities.
A 10-mile chase ensued, reaching speeds of up to 100 miles per hour.
The suspect vehicle during that time was firing numerous rounds at the Rutherford County Deputy Sheriffs.
The inmates crashed, running into the woods, then trying to steal another vehicle.
The homeowner stepped out and held the people there by gunpoint until another neighbor came to assist him.
Officials say no one was injured in the inmates' apprehension. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Father's Day is this Sunday. Have you picked up Dad a gift yet?
If you haven't, don't worry. We have some suggestions for you and some gifts that won't break the bank.
And at 12:30, while members of the Comstock Township fire community mourn the loss of their fire chief, we look into the Move Over law and why it's so important in protecting first responders near a busy road. Welcome back, everyone, to 24-Hour News 8 at noon, live from our Media Arts Center on this beautiful Friday. We're just a few hours away from the Grand Rapids Griffins celebratory parade this afternoon. It'll make its way down here to Rosa Parks Circle. That parade begins at 4 o'clock today. Watch for our live coverage.
Father's Day is Sunday, and let's face it, they are not always easy to shop for. If you're still searching for that perfect gift, Liz McLaughlin goes over tech gifts that can help Dad keep an eye on their car, house, and kids, and make sure they stay safe.
A fancy car might not be in the Father's Day budget, but it's easy to add new features to an old vehicle. The Quick View digital backup camera is wireless, easy to install, and under $300. Activating Hum is easy. The Verizon Hum is another way to upgrade Dad's ride. The Bluetooth device acts as a Wi-Fi hotspot and a virtual auto mechanic. It can decode engine lights and connect to roadside assistance.
Not only does it give him peace of mind when he's on the road, he also has peace of mind when he hands the car keys to his teen driver.
And she just got this.
The Hum features location and speed tracking with real-time notifications. The Samsung SmartThings home monitoring kit uses motion sensors to let Dad keep tabs on the house from anywhere.
Monitor who's coming home, be able to keep tabs on teams. Let's say they have a curfew, he can get an alert when they come home.
It can also work with other smart home devices such as lights or cameras.
Dad, you need to reset the router.
I already did.
If Dad's constantly frustrated with the internet at home, the TP-Link Deco can help. This router system covers up to 4,500 square feet and comes with built-in security features and parental controls.
The TP-Link Deco has screen time limits that can be set per device or per user, and it also has antivirus protection built into the router.
The ability to control internet access could be a way to get the family to trade in those devices for some quality time this Father's Day. Liz McLaughlin, NBC News.
Coming up next, the dangers for first responders on the side of West Michigan roads and the ways rescue crews stay safe at night.
We told you at the top of the hour about Wood TVA taking action for the annual Next Star Founders Day of Caring.
Dozens of our colleagues are all over West Michigan volunteering right now, and Marvis Herring caught up with a few more.
The entire West Michigan community is family to us here, and that's why we're spread out from Grand Rapids to Kalamazoo, and this group's in Holland. Half of them are outside, but the people inside are sorting food that's expired for the food pantry for Community Action House, including this can that expired in 2001. It may seem small, but Community Action House says this one day of volunteering will go a long way.
This may be a few months worth of sorting that will get done today in volume. There's usually 2 volunteers per day the pantry is open, and they'll sort through usually one of these Gaylords. Any of these large cardboard boxes is a Gaylord, and they'll get through about one of those in an afternoon.
If you move outside, you'll find Miranda and other Wood TV friends getting their hands dirty.
Outside today, we have a group working on our community garden. What happens with that is they produce about 4,500 to 5,000 pounds of produce each year, most of which comes back to the clients.
And the people of West Michigan will see the fruits of their labor at their food pantry. There was one big takeaway from our volunteers here at Community Action House, and that's for you to check your food before you donate it. Lots of the food they found was expired. In Holland, Marvis Herring, 24-Hour News 8.
Well, no raindrops out here right now, but I'll tell you what, it's warm, it's nice. We're getting very
nice.
used to this.
Yes. Yeah. I know, I don't want it to leave ever.
I don't either. It's beautiful.
It's finally getting comfortable, and if you like 70s, next week is going to be your week because temperatures are going to continue to cool down. As for today, we just have to watch for some of those stray showers. For the most part, we should be mostly dry. And you guys, we're right now experiencing the longest days of the year. Look at how much daylight we're averaging. Today, June 16th, 15 hours, 21 minutes. By the time we get to July, we'll be down to just 15 hours, which is still nice and long. So you have plenty of daylight to go out and get done whatever you'd like to get done. Temperatures right now close to about 80 degrees. That's what we're anticipating for right around noon. And as we work into the afternoon, we'll continue to climb into the mid 80s. So I think most of us will finish out close to about 84 to 86 degrees across West Michigan. Closer to the lakeshore, we're going to be seeing those 70s. Winds out of the southwest, nice and light at about 5 to 15 miles per hour.
hour. Storm Track Live is showing just a bit of shower activity, but most of it is farther to the south, closer to about I-94. It's getting ready to move in off of Lake Michigan, associated with this tiny wave that's pushing on through just south of Chicago. And as we go through the rest of the day today, it's looking like shower chances are mainly going to be around that I-94 region. So parade time, 4 o'clock in downtown Grand Rapids, looking like it should trend dry. Grand Haven today, 77. Everywhere else, again, mid-80s. And if you're planning on heading out to Lake Michigan over the next couple of days, right by the water, anticipate temperatures close to about 74 today. 75 tomorrow. You're going to have to watch for some scattered showers on Saturday, both in the morning and then late in the day. So keep that in mind if you're heading on out there for sunset time. Sunday, Father's Day, starting off with a few scattered showers early, but eventually drying out through the afternoon. And for your lakeshore, a temperature of about 71 degrees. Coming up, I want to show you your futurecast because we do have that wave of showers and storms that's going to be moving through Saturday night, some of which could be strong to severe. So stick with us, and in a bit, we'll be back to walk you through that.
Thank you, Ellen. The West Michigan community is mourning the death of the Comstock Township Fire Chief. Chief Edward Switalski was hit and killed while responding to a crash Wednesday night. This happened on I-94 near not a mile from the Sprinkle Road exit about 10:30. Crews were getting ready to leave the scene when a passing vehicle lost control and hit him. The driver was taken to the hospital for his injuries.
Every time a first responder ends up on the side of the roadway, they're putting their lives in your hands. Fail to slow down or glance at your cell phone, and you could be driving toward a tragedy.
As Joe LaFergie found, the Grand Rapids Fire Department has come up with some innovative ways to keep their crews safe.
The story's the same for just about any GRFD firefighter who's answered a call on the S-curve.
There has been some close calls.
Lieutenant Mark Penning's crew responds from the Franklin Street Firehouse, just about a block off US 131.
Cars are cutting in, driving seems to be at the speed limit, cutting in at the last minute.
The tragic death of Comstock Township Fire Chief Edward Switalski highlights the dangers first responders face on roadway calls. Too often, while they're attending to someone who needs help, other drivers aren't attending to good driving habits.
Every year nationally, we lose about 50 to 60 tow truck operators, a dozen law enforcement officials, and half a dozen fire personnel on the scene of incidents in the roadway.
And it's not just the risk of injury and death. A few years ago, crashes involving GRFD vehicles blocking traffic lanes during accidents caused $500,000 in damages. Rebuilding a wrecked fire truck can take up to 2 years. So department leaders came up with some solutions, like marking systems on the S-curve.
Where we've pre-engineered locations to park our vehicles for maximum time of visibility by the motorist approaching the incident.
Those same markings will soon appear on portions of I-196. They've also reduced the time it takes to get a wrecker on the scene and clear a roadway. GRFD firefighters are also getting additional training in how to be safe at crash scenes. But perhaps the biggest idea in both size and concept is Utility 2. The fire department repainted an old Public Works dump truck the city was about to sell at auction, mounted lights, a siren and traffic arrow, and then borrowed an attenuator, more or less a big shock absorber on a trailer, from the state. Utility 2 began responding as the department's main traffic blocking unit. This YouTube video shows what happens when a car hits an attenuator and the safety it provides motorists as opposed to hitting a piece of fire apparatus standing still.
They're hitting something that can absorb the energy rather than letting the energy be absorbed by them and their vehicle.
And while it's difficult to gauge the success of something when it doesn't happen, firefighters are convinced Utility 2 has worked.
There's no hard data, but we believe that we've reduced our incidences because of the presence and availability of the unit.
That's Joe LaFergie reporting. Michigan's move over law sets fines and other penalties for drivers who don't move over when they see the flashing light of a police car, fire truck, ambulance, or tow truck. Get caught, and it's a $500 misdemeanor that could put you in jail for 90 days.
If you violate the law and hit a first responder, it becomes a felony. That's punishable by up to 2 years in prison and up to $1,000 in fines if the responder is injured. If the responder is killed, the driver could get up to 15 years in prison and a $7,500 fine.
Coming up, if you're looking for something for your dad on Father's Day, the Grand Rapids Art Museum has some ideas for you. We'll have the details on that.
And then later, do you know where chocolate milk comes from? A surprising amount of Americans don't. We have results from a new survey.
Well, if you're looking for a fun event on Father's Day, come on down to the Grand Rapids Art Museum, because we're joined right now by Crystal Chesnick, who has a very exciting idea for you to get Dad out of the house and get him down here and have some fun. This is a great idea.
Yeah, so what we have from 12 to 4 this Saturday is we have Father's Day mini golf. So basically you can come and make your own golf hole and then play yours and everyone else's holes out in the pocket park.
I love it. So this is a great idea. Tell me a little bit about what we have here. You use recycled materials, right? Let's walk over here.
Yes, we've been collecting all our recycling for a while, and we are a green art museum. So we've used milk cartons and magazines and boxes to make our little windmill hole here, and there's an elephant hole, and then just some fun things.
That's great. So the family can cheer on Dad. It can be a collaborative effort too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then this all why we're doing this is all because of our Rube Goldberg exhibition, who you might know from like a Rube Goldberg machine. He was famous for making cartoons with overly complicated machines, and we thought, well, overly complicated things are kind of like mini golf. Holes.
How fun. It looks like we have some people out here right now giving this a try, and it looks like a lot of fun. So we're just going to keep making these projects, and we're going to keep putting them out here. And can people actually play this course once they get done?
Yeah, once they get done on Sunday, they can play the course. So it's a really fun for the whole family to create together and then to have some fun playing.
And this is free, of course. And then, of course, the idea, too, is to go inside and see all the cool things in the Gram.
Yes, exactly. To go on inside and try to see that Rube Goldberg exhibition.
That is really neat to have that here. So this is our windmill hole right now. Let's see how we do. And I love it. We're using a paper plate as the hole, right?
Yes,
and we're downhill. Downhill. Yes. Okay. Well, watch this. No good. Oh, see, thank you. A little assistance right there.
But if we weren't downhill, you could have tried another shot for that one.
Certainly a lot of fun. I know a lot of dads are going to come down here and really enjoy themselves. Thank you so much for joining us. And come down to the Gram. It's always fun at Rosa Park Circle. So take part in it, and hopefully the weather will cooperate, and you can make your own miniature golf hole with recycled items at the Gram. Ellen?
And you're exactly right, Sue. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. It's looking like we have some nice dry spans throughout the weekend. Coming up, we're going to be showing you your futurecast that you can time out when those dry spans are most likely to occur, county by county.
And welcome back, everyone, to 24-hour News 8 at noon. Let's take a look at the stock market right now on this Friday. The Dow Jones is trading higher, about 18.5 points. The NASDAQ and the S&P 500, they're off right now, though. S&P down about 2 points. The NASDAQ is off more than 13. Crude oil trading at $44.74 a barrel.
Always tracking, always alerting. This is Storm Team 8.
Really a beautiful Friday right now, and all day we've been talking about the fact that we could get some spans of blue sky, and then that cloud cover rolls back in and overtakes that condition back to cloudy. And that's what we're seeing right now at our Media Arts Center, just live downtown. And as we go through the day, we're going to continue to see more of these breaks develop. The best news is it looks like it's going to be trending dry for our daylight hours, and then overnight we have a chance for some rain showers. Temperatures are very comfortable. You can see we have a lot of 70s and a few 80s on the board, and as we go through the day, we're going to continue to climb up into the mid 80s. So this is still warmer than average. It feels very summer-like as we officially step closer and closer to the start of summer, which is only a few days away. Here are big headlines here. Mostly dry today. Overnight tonight, we have a few scattered showers that are going to be possible, but the big system that we're watching is going to be late on Saturday. So the storms that move through tonight might linger a bit on Saturday morning, but a good chunk of Saturday should be dry. It's Saturday evening that we watch that bigger wave come on through, and that's the wave that we're watching to have a little bit more of a severe potential associated with it. Sunday, we have some lingering showers, but after that we should clear out with temperatures in the 70s, and several days after that we're going to continue to see 70s. So we'll have a nice cool down in store for those of you that don't have air conditioning. It'll be really nice to open up those windows and let that breeze on in. Storm Track Live shows some of that cloudiness that we're currently seeing. It's particularly heavy over Holland and Grand Rapids, stretching down through Kalamazoo. We do have one batch of showers that we've been monitoring. It's moving from the Chicagoland area, but it's not severe. It's just plain old rain, and it's kind of been falling apart. So overall, these are pretty insignificant showers that we're seeing currently. And as we go through the afternoon, we should continue to see just very minimal shower activity. Now, as we get later, we're going to start to see some of that shower and storm activity increase. Again, some of this might linger through your Saturday morning. So when you wake up tomorrow, you might see some patches of rain or some cloudiness, but a good span of the day should be on the dry side. Through the day, we can't completely rule out some of those pop-up showers and storms, but not everyone is going to get wet. So it's all about the luck of the draw, who sees that shower or storm, and then comes that wave that we're watching even more carefully, starting close to about 7 o'clock and then lasting through the early portion of your overnight. And that's the line that could have a few of those robust storms with it. So here's how it boils down. 86 today, tonight 68 degrees with a shower or storm. Again, some of those lingering close to daybreak on your Saturday. And then if we look at the severe potential, you can see that Grand Rapids south. Those are those areas that have the best chance of seeing one or two of those storms be a bit more on the strong side. So risks of this kind, of this magnitude, are pretty expected and pretty frequent in West Michigan this time of year. More often than not, we'll see one severe thunderstorm, if any. Just know if you have some outdoor activities, you want to keep your handheld radar ready. Storm Teammate weather app is a great one. Yes. You can track along at home, and then if anything happens, we'll of course be covering it live. After that, smooth sailing, some 70s. That'll feel nice after some of this heat.
Will. Yes, cool right off. Okay. Thank you, Ellen. Well, the city of Lakeview is celebrating 150 years with a big festival. There are events all weekend, including a float plane parade. You can check out all the planes at 3 o'clock tomorrow, and they'll hand out prizes at 7. There are other events too, including square dancing today, a car show, and the float plane parade tomorrow, along with a pickle dock boat race. We have a link to the festival information right on our website, woodtv.com.
Well, here's a new survey we wish wasn't true. 7% of American adults think that chocolate milk comes from brown cows. More than 1,000 adults were polled in April of this year. Even more surprisingly, 48% of people are not sure where it comes from. For the record, chocolate milk is made using regular old cow's milk and flavoring. The survey findings were released for June, which is National Dairy Month. Well, coming up next, why these guys and girls are boat jumping and the reason it's such a historic job for people living in the area.
Plus, it's Friday. That means it's Pet Day. Our featured pets of the week are in studio right now. We'll introduce them to you coming up next.
Welcome back to your 24-hour News 8 at noon. We're just a few hours away from the Grand Rapids Griffins celebratory parade starting in downtown Grand Rapids at 4 o'clock today.
Looking forward to that. Going to be a lot of people down here. We hope you'll join us. Well, it is sound advice for most people to avoid jumping on or off a moving boat.
But for a handful of teens in Wisconsin, it's the biggest part of their job description. And as Andy Choi reports, landing this work is competitive.
Jump! I don't know, it seems to always draw people in. It's a really unique thing.
Call it a leap of faith for teens looking to find their summertime sea legs, all while trying to stay dry.
I don't really think I'd like to fall in. I mean, if it happens, it happens.
They are literally jumping at the chance to make special deliveries as mailboat jumpers, a Lake Geneva tradition more than 100 years old.
Actually started in 1916, and in those days it was a necessity. This was a summer resort for the wealthy, but it was wilderness.
It may be a novelty today, but the dozen kids trying out for this summer's 6 coveted jumper spots remain laser focused as they deliver mail from a moving boat from pier to pier.
The advice I always say is run faster than you think that you should be, because you'll be running and say, oh, I'll make it back, and then you'll turn around and the boat will be almost gone.
These auditions are a grueling test of speed, agility, and confidence. And obviously, not every dry run is a dry run.
I have not fallen in a tryouts period. I've fallen in 3 times total, but that was all during the season.
And in an era when snail mail just can't keep up with the likes of Snapchat.
A lot of Snapchats are taken during this trip.
These fast-moving teens say the nautical nature of this kind of snail mail remains one of the hottest summer jobs around.
That was fun.
Okay.
No biggie here.
No, don't notice anything
Yes,
different.
no,
What's the weather look
completely
like out there?
Mild and dry, beautiful conditions. Watch for those chances of showers, mainly south today, and then through Saturday, a little bit in the morning, but mainly in the evening hours. Sunday, a few showers early, and then clearing up for Father's Day.
Wonderful. Well, today's pet day, as you might guess, it's our pet of the week.
Yep, our featured dog is Ray. Ray's
Ray
a
is-
one-year-old Staffy mix
That's
who
right.
was found as a stray. The shelter tells us he's very sweet, affectionate, and cuddly. For more on Ray, call the Kent County Animal Shelter 616-632-7300.
And joining us in studio today, 3 of the most adorable kittens ever.
We couldn't wait to get them out.
Yeah.
We had to get them out a
We
little
just had to
early.
get 'em out. Yep.
Just to show you how cute.
Kittens always win here, so
Oh my
I figured
goodness.
I'd bring you guys each one today.
Do you have a lot of
Thank you for
kittens
that. They
right
make
now?
us smile.
We do. I mean,
Have
we
a
get them in
sweetheart.
every day, so we're doing pretty good adopting them out, but they don't stop coming. So
Do these have names?
they do. They got the Harry Potter theme.
Oh.
Harry, Ron, and how do you say it?
Hermione.
Hermione.
Yeah. Okay.
Hermione is the
Oh,
girl.
yes.
And they all just had surgery on Wednesday. They got
Okay.
their little bellies shaved right there, and the
Oh,
little
yep.
tattoos.
Oh, spotted
And
belly.
so they're ready to go as soon as somebody wants to come and adopt them.
So they're ready to go.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Okay, maybe Father's Day.
Yeah, maybe that's one dad's wish.
Another
I know what I'm
addition
getting my dad for Father's Day, right?
Another addition to the family. So cute. Well,
They
if you
are.
want to learn more about these adorable Harry Potter themed kittens, please call the Kent County Animal Shelter. They are so sweet and so just chilling.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're just so sweet.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Parade tonight starting at 4, right here.